Hello, hello, hello. Today we are going to talk about what is in my medicine cabinet because I've had 4 kids. They've had every cut, bruise, scrape, infection, you name it, we've had it. How do I handle that? So first of all, what I see a lot, and especially starting off, is going to be fevers and ear infections. And I take care of these completely differently than anybody else. Number one, get your kids adjusted. If you need help with that, reach out. I can help you find a chiropractor. Number two, with fevers, we know that that is simply a loss of calcium in the bloodstream. And so we need to give them calcium lactate. We'll give you a link for that one. Then we often see fevers and ear infections, and we want to make sure that number one, the child's not in pain, but number two, that that infection doesn't grow greater. And what we see is 2 things that can be preventative for this. Number one, hydrogen peroxide in the ears every single night. You just kind of flood it, let it drain out. That keeps them very, very clean and helps reduce, things in our fingers, now things in our mouth, and then we sit there and spread all those little viruses around. And then if we know that we full on have an ear infection, and this is where, like, if I'm breaking down and thinking we need an antibiotic, then what happens is I go get colloidal silver and I reach for that. And I put it in the ears. If I think there's an ear infection, I'll spray it down the throat. If I think there's some sort of throat infection, if I have a cut or a wound that I'm trying to keep clean, I'll use colloidal silver. I'll use essential oils like lavender, purification. Those are fantastic tools that you can use to keep wounds clean as they heal. Then also they're fantastic for bug bites so that the kids aren't itching them and turning them into bigger infections that way. The other really important thing is cotton gauze. If you're going to clean up wounds, you want to make sure that those are organic. Again, we don't want to put a heavy chemical into an open wound on the body, so we want to be as natural as possible. Now, Band-Aids, I love them, and the Wonder Woman Band-Aids are fantastic. So get the ones that make your kids smile. Absolutely use them every time. And then there's been some cases where, they've got larger cuts, larger things, and I use a liquid Band-Aid all the time. You can just pick that up at the grocery store and it just seals it shut. It's amazing. And then if there's skin rashes or if there's diaper rashes, I love Young Living's diaper cream. And then there's also Calendula if you're in the South, Calendula if you're anywhere else. And those are great products that you can get and apply to your baby's skin. And it helps nourish and coat them in a beautiful way. The last one that I'm going to teach you, which was a really funny story, we were in an Indian restaurant and this very, very old woman came over and talked to me about taking my infant and coating them in oil and baking them in the oven. So immediately her grandson runs over and starts excusing her and saying, no, we don't bake our children in the oven. What she's telling me is that she wanted me to coat my child in olive oil and take a warm towel and coat it, and that would kind of bake in the healing property of the oil and help my child's skin that was very, very dry at the time. So I find that those remedies are absolutely fantastic, and I hope that you are going to sign on for more because we've got so much to teach you on how to raise your kids healthy. Talk to you soon.